Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Sheila Wiggains Show. I'm your host, Michelle, and I'm here with Miss Sheila Wiggains, a known songwriter, producer, actress, and performer. Last time we spoke with Miss Wiggins, she spoke about her daily livings in Jamaica, where she grew up, and we're going to probably focus on that a little bit more today. Hi, Miss Sheila, how you do?
Doing, girl, fine.
That's good. I'm glad. So, what's been happening with you today?
Just thinking about the podcast,
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm going to say. Yeah.
Okay. So we learned a little bit about you and your background. We learned that you grew up in Jamaica. What part of Jamaica, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
Kingston,
Okay,
in the
Kingston.
area they would call the area that I lived in was St. Andrew, but
Mm,
it's connected right up with Kingston.
okay. So what was so special about Kingston? Because, usually when people travel to Jamaica, they either go to Kingston or Montego Bay. Those are the hot spots. There's also Ocho Rios. What other hot spots do they have in Jamaica that we don't know about that you'd like to share with us?
I mean, growing up in my time, it was Kingston.
Okay.
It's a different time now from the time that I grew up in Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was the hot spot down there. Christmas was spent down on King Street, downtown, Christmas Eve, backward and forward. And it was really a great time meeting up with friends. And Christmas there was something just unique to the natives. They call it Christmas market. They always take the kids to buy stuff. We're going to Christmas market and they would shop and buy stuff to take back home. It was a great time. For me, growing up as a little girl and even as a teenager, going to King Street and you had the craft market and you had all the stores along the way. You had the Coke Church, which was still there. I know it's still there. And Church of Redeemer. That's the church I used to attend as a young person downtown on Duke Street. And it's a lot goes on down there. Lot of industries were down there, the coconut vendors and all, came to sell their goods. They were at a park at the time where the Christmas tree would be placed in the middle of the park. So I'm going way back into the 60s, coming up to the 70s, when everything changed. Everything changed. Even the statues that were in the park was removed to a national heroes. That's where they took all the statues and stuff too. So a lot of changes have gone since I was a little girl, and everything was moved to uptown Kingston. When I used to go downtown Kingston, I would go to the crafts market where they have all kind of displays of baskets and all kind of trinkets and carvings. And Bob Marley, when you walk right in, you would see that in the museum downtown. So a lot have changed since I left. So everything is moved up uptown. Uptown, that's what you hear now.
Okay. So, for Christmas time, how did you spend your Christmases down there in Jamaica when you were there?
Oh, girl. Christmas downtown was, as I said, a great time with the teenage other girls like my age group at the time. And we would meet up downtown in groups, different groups, and would walk backward and forward. And they would just have a good time shopping. Christmas market, as I said, some of them call it grand market, but it was really buying toys and getting stuff ready. And that would be Christmas Eve. That would be all great time.
Why was it called Grand Market?
Some of them call it grand market
Why?
because it's a big time when they go and buy up all these things for the kids, for the small kids, like the cars and the truck. Everybody call it it. Some call it grand market, some call it Christmas market. Those were the names that you'd hear at that time.
What were the popular toys back then?
Mm. It was mostly like cars because kids love cars and trucks and those were the kind of and dolls, lots of dolls and they dressed them up in some of the dolls were dressed as natives, dress costumes native. And when I say native, we do the bandana thing and all of that. So some of the dolls was
Mm,
dressed like that. Most of the island dolls, because I have a collection and I have like a doll from each island.
yeah.
And so that was the kind of stuff that for the little girls.
Oh, okay. I
Hmm.
do have one question for you because I know Jamaica is very prideful as a country as well as their people. Did you hear about the Louis Vuitton shirt that they appropriated for Jamaican style that they were selling for, I think, over $595?
Ooh, I
Unfortunately, it
did.
wasn't the colors of Jamaica, though. It was actually the colors of the Rastafarian. Is the
Oh, yes.
Rastafarian colors different from that of the Jamaican flag?
They use a lot of bright colors, orange looking. But if you look at the shirts that they were doing, it is very colorful. The Rastafarian colors are bright colors, and you'll see the green, you'll see the black, you'll see like a bright orange or pink, But they love colorful things. Even the homes that they paint, you will see they're very colorful people.
Okay. All right, because this color, I think it was the colors of Ghana. The
Yes,
Ghanaian
they go there.
flag was,
Mm-hmm.
yes, and there is a high
Gavi.
population of Rastafari down there in Ghana. The colors are red, yellow, and I think green, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
But they had a lot of backlash in regards to that because those colors didn't represent Jamaica. So Louis Vuitton pulled it recently. I think this was last week, actually. They decided to pull the attire from their list. I just
Yes.
wanted to point that out because
Well, they'd want to stand out. That's why our flag, the yellow is the sunshine, the black is for the black folks there, and the green is for the grass, the green grass. So we that's how they interpret their flag.
okay.
Yeah,
Mm,
sunshine, and the green for the grass and for the black people of our country.
okay. That's good. So the last time we spoke, we went from your elementary school. That's where you were motivated to look
Yes,
into
great.
music, and then you went to Melgrove High
Merle Grove.
School, Merle
Yeah.
Grove, excuse me, and you were actually the wardrobe mistress, and you did makeup. But we didn't touch on any music when you were in high school. So would you like to go over that a little bit with me today?
The thing with Merle Grove High School, we were because it's an all girls school. We were taught everything. We had to learn to do tracks. I mean, like when they have the meet with all the schools at Savannah Park. So we since we were all a girls' school, we needed help from outside. So what they did for the girls there was bringing coaches from other places like Kingston College, and bringing those coach to help us learn to run the right. Since like all girls, they don't want us to run girly. You know what I mean? Want us to run like athletes. So that's why that was done. But we did a lot of sports there, and we had a special sport there where we are good with all what's going on, like the 100 yards, 220 yards, the relay, the fast heat, and also high jump and long jump. I did tracks. I was a track person that because it's all girls, they learn to play everything. So there was nothing that wasn't in the game section that wasn't done. We had a very good coach there, Mrs. Her name was Miss Wilson, and she was in charge. She was in charge of sports down on the premises, and she was very organized, very 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 good person. So we learn a lot there. I mean, if we're going out into the world, we'd know a little of everything: how to play basketball, how to do softball, how to do volleyball, all the balls. We didn't have We have a ring that was the for the what you would call that basketball. Up
Hmm.
here, we and those days that's what we had. We just had a ring, and and you had to put the ball up there. Because I was so small and tiny, I played guard, and that's what I played through that time. And then for the softball, I was a catcher behind the wicket there with that thing over your face, which I didn't like. But that's because we are all girls. We had to do what we had to do to let everything move the way it's supposed to.
Hmm.
And that was for the games at Merle Grove High. Our principal, I didn't talk about that, right?
No.
For the high school there at the time was Miss Muriel Speed, and Miss Johnson. She was the assistant principal at the time when I went there. And then after going down in the years, we had a lady by the name of Miss Muriel Lynch. She came and took over Merle Grove High. We had great teachers. We had real professional teachers, and each teacher was assigned. Like Miss Scott, she was into cooking. She was taught the girls how to do different dishes and recipes and menus and all those stuff. And then we had Miss Professor Hyatt, and he did physiology and that kind of stuff. And then we had Miss Case, she did the scriptural part of it. And Miss Miller Lynch was a great headmistress. She was the one that took over after Miss Speed. So we were really a school that was very disciplined because it was a Christian high school, all girls, but Christian high school. And that's how that school was run. At the time when I went there, they even had boarders on the premises because this is going way back. Some of these girls are from St. Mary and the country parts. And so for them to go backward was very hard. So they boarded them there. And that's what I see went on. They were very strict, so we wear uniforms, and we used to wear a jippy japper hat at the time. But when the wind come and start blowing off the hats going home from school, they realize this ain't working. So they got like a beret to wear where we don't have to wear that. We wear blue uniform, powder blue uniform, and black shoes. And that's how we were dressed. We had a games uniform for when it's the Wednesdays, whatever day you had games, and that wouldn't have any sleeves. The regular uniform had a sleeve in it. So you'd know when you see that girl wearing sleeveless, she still have on a uniform, but it was sleeveless. You know, it was her games day, and that they had very strict rules there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
So because it was strict, what about the singing?
Okay, the singing now. As I said, the real part of the singing was in at went on from elementary school right up to which was Miss Vada Smith. She was the one who taught the girls from the elementary school. So whatever we learned from Miss Vada Smith, we take it with us. So when we went to Mergrove High School now and they're doing plays, we had the drama teacher, Miss Carol Dawes. That was her name. Very great, great lady. And she was the one who directed the plays. She were the one that we did Shakespeare. She was the one that really took us through all the avenues as a preparing us for the world out there if we want to be teachers or whatever. So with the play, we did Shakespeare, we did island stuff, for that was written and performed. But all schools in Jamaica at the time, we used to have the schools drama festival, which you would have all the different schools would enter at the Little Theatre Movement at Tom Redcam Avenue. I get to understand from students that come from Jamaica and told me that they expanded on that. And so the drama area where the theater is, they expanded that so they have more space. As a country that, we don't have a lot of revenue then for those schools, we had to work hard and put what we have together and let it work. So for like we're doing a play from my school, you had to have sponsors to help you to do what you could do. But wasn't much sponsors in those days. So you had to make up your own stuff. So we as students, we built our set ourselves. We put wheels on those things. We painted them. For the costume, we bought brown calico and we dyed them the color of what the costumes were to be. And then we had to sew those costumes. We had to measure to whoever, whatever part they're going to play. So it was a lot of work to do a production, with the little that we have. But when we finished with those costumes and the lights hit them, they look like $1 million costumes. You'd never believe it, because we use all the sequins and bling bling on it. We use with gum. We use the glue, put it on it, and sprinkle it. And let me tell you, when those girls walk onto that stage and the lights hit it, wow! And that was how I got involved into plays and performing, and it was a great time, real great time. Because when we won 1 year, and that was really good. All our work, Miss Carol Dawes, she was the one that really was behind all that. Yeah,
Oh,
she was
wonderful.
really good.
With that being said, we're going to say goodbye tonight, and we're going to thank everybody for listening to our podcast. And we would love for you to subscribe to our show so that you will never miss an episode of Miss Sheila Wiggains' Daily Life. And if you also have any questions, don't be shy, write in, and Miss Sheila Wiggains can answer any questions that you pose to her. Thanks again, everybody, and have a good night. Take care, Miss Sheila.
Thank you again, Miss Michelle. I appreciate that.
Bye bye now.
Bye.